I'm so humiliated that I put up with this. Like, when I think about who I am, I've been married for 20 years. And there isn't a single thing about any aspect that he can find worth paying a genuine compliment about in the course of a week.
Welcome back, family. Today we
So you threw away a 20-year marriage for what? What is your reason? We want to know these women's reasons, dog, because it seems like these women's they never give a reason why they left their husband. They're always yapping, guys. They're always yapping, right? Like, they never give you a reason why they left their husbands. All I ever heard on these videos, from these videos, is women talking about, oh, it's not that he was a bad father or a bad husband. He was a good guy, but I had to leave. Why did you leave if you had a good guy, a good father, and a good husband? Why did you leave? Do you understand what I'm saying? Women think like they're in a movie, guys. And this is why I'm not getting married, and I'm never getting married. Okay? But anyway, let's go. Let's go. Another one. Another modern woman who destroyed her own family. Now she's on the internet looking for sympathy. Let's check it out, guys.
will review this woman who is divorcing her husband because he doesn't give her genuine heartfelt compliment twice a week. Then she makes false allegation to get her husband arrested. Fellas, the topic in this video really speaks deep into my heart. I read your comments, and I understand that the world need to hear our side of the story. So it is very important for you to listen to the BS these women speak into these clips so that you can learn how to protect yourself from these kind of women.
If it were just me and my future ex-husband, I wouldn't do this. I'd bounce. I'd be gone. I would have bounced years ago. Because there's only so long that you can be in a relationship where the other person makes it clear they don't give a shit about you. Here's what happened the first time we went to therapy. Do you want to know what it came down to that he didn't do for 3 weeks in a row and insisted every single time was too big of a deal and completely impossible? Over the course of 1 week, he needed to give me a heartfelt and genuine compliment about anything. Absolutely anything. The assignment was to compliment anything. It could be how hard I work as a mom. It could be the type of shoes I was wearing. It could be anything. He had to pay me a compliment. That was the assignment. And this was so overwhelming and taxing for him. He said it just wasn't impossible to be genuine about it. And so this time around, when we're going to therapy again, and like March and April and May, guess what? He's the one who scheduled those appointments. I was so excited. I was like, you know what? Maybe this time he's going to put some work into it and he'll actually get something out of it. And we go in that first therapy session and he doubles down. You know, because the therapist is like, well, what happened when you went to therapy before? Like, why did you stop going? And, you know, future ex-husband is like, oh, I have no idea. And I said, I know. And I relate this experience. And instead of even feigning that it didn't happen, completely lying about it, future ex-husband is like, well, there's nothing about her worth complimenting. There's nothing good there. I've been married for 20 years. And there isn't a single thing about any aspect that he can find worth paying a genuine compliment about in the course of a week. I'm so humiliated that I put up with this. Like, when I think about who I am and who I encourage my kids to be, how come I stayed in a relationship where the other person said unequivocally, there's nothing good about you? Why have I stayed? Why did I think my kids being exposed to that was better? I just kept hoping like a tiny little half step forward was progress, right? I'm just so embarrassed that I accepted that as enough for so long.
Still feeling lost after a breakup or divorce? You're not alone. At RJ Godfellas Matrimony and Move On Crew, we don't just talk about heartbreak, we heal through it. Every week we share mindful rituals, self-care tools, and real talk from real people who get it. This isn't just another support group. It's a safe space to grow, laugh, cry, and come back stronger. Healing starts with one step. Take yours today. Join the crew on Patreon. Your next chapter is waiting. The link is in the description.
I know there's good things about me. And I think part of the reason that I know there's good things about me is because I've had to learn on my own, because I wasn't going to get that from any external validation from him. He was never going to tell me that I looked nice that day. He was never going to tell me a haircut was pretty. He was never going to tell me that I was a good mom for running around and doing all of this and making sure everything happened and making sure every single thing was purchased for Christmas and making sure everything was done. It was never going to make me worthy of a single compliment. I'm tired. I'm so tired of just having to hold it together all on my own. It is so refreshing to have a friend just tell me, "You look nice today," or "That was really clever." Because for so long, that's just been a void of nothingness. Like, if I ever felt too good about myself, it was just like, let's knock her down a peg. She shouldn't get too big of a head, right? What's wrong with me feeling good about who I am?
Here is why I call modern couples therapy BS for men. The assignment the therapist gave her husband was to do something for his wife. But on the other hand, the assignment the therapist gave this woman was to do something for herself, if there was even any assignment for her to do. Most of these therapy sessions already assume that the man is wrong and should do more, and all the woman gets is more validation. I applaud her husband for being honest about not giving her genuine compliments per the assignment.
Facts.
This doesn't mean that he never gave her any compliments throughout the whole 20 years marriage. It just means
true.
that with the recent tension in the marriage, he cannot give genuine compliments. Now, let's dive into the false allegation and why I think that they are false.
And future ex-husband does not have a protective order in place. He was arrested on Sunday, but he was arraigned yesterday, which means the protective order that happened for him to get released from jail expired yesterday at midnight. I was supposed to be notified when he was arraigned. I was not. And my protective order, like my long-term protective order, is still in the paperwork phase. I've been in the paperwork phase since Monday, and I'm kind of freaking out.
Basically, she is filing for divorce, and her lawyer probably advised her to press charges of abuse against her husband so that she can have a leg up. Now, she used the kids to do that, which is the lowest blow you can give to a father. Her husband was arrested and then released probably because the charges she claims don't make sense. But in the meantime, her husband's reputation is being tarnished. Here is more proof that her charges are BS.
The morning yesterday down at the courthouse and talking to legal aid, and I felt like an idiot at legal aid. Like, clearly this woman has dealt with more significant cases, and so I'm telling her what's happened, and she's like, "Is that it? Is that it?" And I felt like an idiot. But when I talked to my lawyer and I talked to the police, they're like, "No, this is pretty significant abuse." And I didn't call the police for so long because I didn't want that exact feeling from the legal aid person.
If the lady at the legal aid...
This is crazy, guys. This is crazy. I mean, when you have problems, you should fix those problems. And I agree with HL, guys. You know, these therapy nonsense, this couple therapy nonsense, like, they in like the best interest of women. They're not even in their best interest because they don't hold them accountable. Because the best thing that we can do for women right now is to hold them accountable. right? They told this man to compliment his wife. For what? Why does this woman need a compliment? A compliment for what? For being a mother? For being a wife? For being a partner? Why do you need to be complimented to do those things? That's what you need to be. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be happy. She doesn't want to be happy. The only reason she don't want to be single. I'm sorry, right? She don't want to be single. The only reason why she got married is because she didn't want to be alone. Because nobody wants to be alone, guys. I know there's a lot of women out there who are advertising, and a lot of men, not even a lot of men, some men, a few men out there who are out here advertising the single life and saying, being single is like the best thing that's ever happened to me, peace and all that nonsense. That's a lie, bro. Most of you single people are unhappy, miserable, lonely. Cause I'm also single, right? And I'm lonely. I'm not miserable though. I'm lonely. No, but not miserable because I can deal with my loneliness, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm the most happiest person. I'm not even happy for the fact that I'm single. You understand? It's just that the goal of marriage is unattainable, guys. You understand what I'm saying? It's not attainable. So, but anyway, this woman wanted to be with somebody. And when he was in a marriage, when she was in a marriage, she decided that, now she's gonna want more from that marriage. When everything is given to her, probably that man works and pays the bills. I'm not sure if she's working as well and paying some of the bills or half of the bills, but I know that that's just teamwork. You understand what I'm saying? When people are together, they should help each other. When someone is down, the other partner should pick up or pick him up, right? But anyway, this is crazy, bro. To even file, after filing a divorce and open a case so that she can have the upper hand, she can have the leverage so that she can win the kids. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy work. Let's hear what this man did for this woman to open a case for him.
Court, who usually side with women, doesn't find the charges significant. That should say a lot about these charges. Here is her, now trying to find sympathy online as usual.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm safe. I'm not well. I've had a really crappy night. My kids don't feel safe at home. Little man who was already home when future ex-husband got home, he just kind of got trapped in the crossfires. He was in his bedroom all night. He did not come down and lovingly greet his dad. No! He was terrified, and every time there was any sound anywhere in the house, he would text me and say, "Mom, are you safe?" I've never allowed my kids to have sleepovers because when I was growing up, I got touched by people who shouldn't have touched me, and so I just don't allow it. Violet had her first sleepover last night because she didn't feel safe coming home. Sam is spending the weekend at his girlfriend's. Thankfully, I am on good terms with his girlfriend's mom. We've known each other for years, and I was able to just reach out and be like, "Hi." It's an absolute fucking nightmare at my house right now. So, could my son just stay at your house? We are a hyper-religious community, okay? Like, you have no idea the ask that is. This morning, when I picked up Violet from her friend's house and took her to school, she gave me the biggest hug. And she said, "Thank you for fighting for me to feel safe." And I'm not allowed to say anything about future ex-husband that is unkind. And I feel like my hands are tied because this is how I process right now.
We can all see in 4K how this woman is destroying her husband's life by screaming abuse with absolutely no significant proof. She is turning the
Facts.
kids against their father, and this man might even lose.
That's what they do, bro. That's what they do. Like, I don't know what's with women, always trying to demonize, the kid's father. That's what they do, bro. Like, a lot of women want us to believe that, men are bad. Like, men are bad news. Men are not good. Men are abusive. They want us to believe that. I don't understand what is the obsession about women wanting men to be bad. Like, wanting somebody who's going to be your companion or somebody who's going to be your partner, because the only way for you not to be single and lonely in this world, you need a man. A cat cannot, replace a man. You understand what I'm saying? A dog cannot replace a man. Your girlfriends cannot replace a man. Your kids cannot replace a man. That space will always, be irreplaceable. You get what I'm saying? Whether women don't want this or not, right? That space will never be irreplaceable. So we have to be honest, right? I know women just don't want men at this point. They enjoy being single. Not that they enjoy it, but they feel empowered being single. But destroying people's lives, that's not cool, bro. That's not cool. You don't have to destroy your ex-husband's life because you don't want to be with the man anymore. Because you hate a man, right? Like, you don't have to do that. Like, it's not necessary. It's not even needed. But let's keep it pushing, though.
His job and have his whole life turned upside down because of these allegations. This video is very special to me because I've personally witnessed this situation played out. And I know for a fact that they are men who are watching this video right now who have been through a similar situation, or men who know someone who is or has been in this situation. I am here to tell you to not give up because it gets better with time. That's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. And don't forget to like, share.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy how, women don't want to be with men anymore. Like, for some reason, like, I just feel like that. And I feel like we as men, we're not even single by choice. You understand what I'm saying? We're just single because this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? You don't want to be with somebody who's just going to destroy your life like that, who's going to destroy your reputation like that, bro. Like, who's just going to tell everybody, who's going to go on the internet and say you're abusive when you're not abusive, right? Because why is it that even the people at the police station don't believe her, dog? And it's easy for women, like, how easy it is, like, a woman to walk out of this house that I'm sitting in right now, that I'm living in right now, and go to the police station and say, he put my hands on you, without any, like, proof, no bruises, no nothing. I will still be arrested, dog. I'll get arrested. You know what I mean? If the police don't believe her, bro, just know it's not, something is fishy. And I'm still surprised that most women are so obsessed with, destroying women. Like, if destroying women makes them feel empowered, like, it's like destroying man makes them feel empowered. That's what I want to say. It's like bashing men and telling men that they'd rather be single than to be with a man. It makes them feel empowered for some reason. And when we look at it as men, we look at it like, it's hard to get a woman because it's hard to satisfy a woman. Women have, like, high standards, dog. You understand? We cannot always step up. There's no way we can always step up. You cannot tell us, you want this and this and this and that, and then we step up to that level, and then later on you move your goalpost. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to men. That's why a lot of men don't want to be with women long term, right? Like, that's why we just want to hook up with you guys. We don't want to be with you long term because it's like far-fetched, dog, to be with a woman long term nowadays. Well, if we look at what women want, like, it's crazy, bro. That's why we don't want to be with you guys. And you guys don't want to be with us because it makes you feel empowered. Not being with us. Being single and being successful makes you empowered. Being independent makes you empowered. That's why women are willing to go this far, dog, to to feel empowered. They're willing to destroy a man's life to feel empowered. They're willing to lie on a man and say a man is abusive when he's not, just to feel empowered. And it's a fact, guys. This is serious, though. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. My name is RJ Godfella, and this is the RJ Godfella Chess. Now, if you like this type of content, man, please hit the subscribe button. Peace, I'm out.